Hello and welcome back to the $1 billion Movie Club. How you doing? You doing good? It's been a long time, friend, right? Has it been a long time, co-host?
I think it's been a couple months.
It's been a couple months where since the last week where we talked about movies that make a whole lot of money. And then we are like, fuck, this one did it?
They
Took
they
4 months.
they did it. It's like they had an obligation almost. They're like, I guess we got to make 1 billion. The other ones did.
I thought we were safe. I thought we were safe. I never thought to ask why.
But you know what? The Dominion comes for us all.
We are your co-hosts. I am Christian Masinson, and with me, as always, the one, the only, the diminutive.
Pawan Meta.
Is that a word I said?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the correct usage, but let's go with it.
Pause, pawn. It's time for our famous tangents. We're gonna look to see if diminutive is a word. Share your screen, entire screen, as I do. If you This is now an audio only podcast, so apologies if you cannot see me looking up the word diminutive. Diminutive. Diminutive.
Dominions?
Diminutive. Diminutive. It's not a word. I made up one. Pawan, you're so great that they had to make up a new word for you.
Yo, you just coined that shit.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Call you the podcast Kevin Gates.
We talk about movies and really explore worlds and make up words. We're basically the new Dr. Seuss.
There's no
How you
cat
doing
in
today,
that
Pawan?
hat.
Oh, we took that cat and we milked it. We milked it.
We milked the cat.
Pawan, what movie are we talking about this week?
We're
Let's
talking
just
about
go there.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic World Dominion, directed by Colin Trevorrow. Did we ever get a ruling on how to say his last name?
No. Trevorrow.
Okay.
Trevorrow.
With a-
Trevorrow.
Made with a budget of $165 to $185 million. Who knows? Released on June 10th, 2022, the film opened domestically with a box office total of $145.1 million, the biggest opening for a non-superhero film in this post or mid-COVID world, if you will. I don't know how we're calling it still. You
What
seem
about Top
perplexed.
Gun?
Top Gun's opening was less than. Let's look at what my notes said for last time. Top Gun opened to a 3-day weekend of $126 million. Top Gun had that Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of that Monday business that should have gone to the weekend.
Oh, that Monday business.
That Monday business. You never know what's going to happen on a Monday. The biggest for a non-superhero film, I believe the two biggest are Doctor Strange at number 2, not number 1, Spider-Man, the home one.
There's 3 of those.
No Way Home. No Way Home. There we go. I was looking for it in my mind. Headline Hollywood called its performance or its opening weekend, quote unquote, amazing, given its unfavorable critical reception and mediocre audience exit scores.
That
The
might
film
be
would
the
be
only
number
time we
one.
hear the word amazing in this episode.
The film would be number 1 for 2 weeks until it was dethroned by, you guessed it, box office beloved favorite
The Nice Guys.
Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
Oh.
I wish it was The Nice Guys. What do we have to do to get The Nice
Or was
Guys
it
$1 billion?
or was it The Bad Guys? What was that movie called?
Oh, The Bad Guys was this year. That was the animated one.
Yeah.
Nice Guys is my boy Gosling and your boy Crow.
Yeah, that's my boy. That is my boy.
A
got that.
headline from Rebecca Rubin at Variety, September 23rd, 2022. Jurassic World Dominion slowly but surely crosses 1 billion globally. And just like it crossing 1 billion, we slowly but surely made an episode.
Yeah, I mean, usually with these later ones, we try to see it in theaters, but That wasn't an option this time.
I do think there are two interesting notes Rebecca Rubin brought up in her piece. It says, it took more than 4 months to get there, making Dominion one of the slowest films to gross $1 billion in its original run. Other blockbusters that reached 1 billion after 3 months or longer of playing on this big screen include Finding Dory, Zootopia, and Frozen. Which I think is interesting because a lot of animated films don't have that day and date release that say a lot of these bigger blockbusters do.
Sure.
They get a broken up, stagnated release amongst different markets. So I think that's
Stagnated.
interesting.
You mean staggered?
Staggered. I wanted to sound smart. You took it away from me. It's interesting to note only 3 movies, including Spider-Man No Way Home and Top Gun Maverick, hit the $1 billion mark in pandemic times. Unlike those films, Dominion had the advantage of playing in China, where it brought in $158 million. Thank you for that, Rebecca Rubin. Film, it sits at these numbers, but who knows? Maybe there's some life in this film. Maybe it's gonna rise up in these ranks. All right.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be number 1.
Who knows? Currently sits. It's a Rocky Horror situation. It never leaves theaters.
Comes back every July.
Every July. It currently sits at 376 million domestically and 1.001 billion worldwide. It is the 49th highest grossing film domestically and the 50th film highest grossing film worldwide. The 50th film to cross the $1 billion mark. Yes, Pawan, of every film to cross the $1 billion mark, this is the lowest grossing film we've seen so far.
It made it.
Made it. Hey, Pawan. Let's take a second back, all right? Pawan, I want you to imagine it's December of 2008, all right?
Okay.
What are you doing in December of 2008?
Sleeping a lot. Yeah.
Sleeping, and obviously you're waiting for that Dark Knight Oscar buzz. And so they said, hey, you know what? We're not at $1 billion yet, so let's re-release it, have some buzz from that, and then we'll go win those Oscars. And you know what? Then they crossed the $1 billion mark. So maybe Jurassic World Dominion will re-release
because everyone knows this is gonna get that Oscar buzz. Everyone knows this one's gunning for that Best Picture.
In a year of Top Gun Maverick, Avatar: The Way of Water, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, it's the year of the blockbuster, Pawan. Jurassic World Dominion Best Picture nominee. We're starting the campaign with its re-release. Pawan?
Yep.
Is this when I ask you what happens, or what do you think of the film? I think this is when I ask you what happens.
What happens? What happens in this movie?
Al, Pawan, may I ask?
All right, let's be professional about this. All right, take 2.
Yes.
Take 2. Go ahead.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm flustered. Let me look at my notes. Okay.
By the way, this is all staying in.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at a pillow. I don't have notes for this part. Pawan, it's been some time, right?
Okay.
It's been maybe 2.5 years since we watched Jurassic World for the podcast. Maybe 2 years and a month. It's just 1 year and these numbers since we did Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
If say you watch these films in theaters and never again, right?
Okay.
It's been 7 years since Jurassic World. It's been 3 or 4. 2018. 4 years.
Wasn't it
since Fallen
2019?
Kingdom. 2019. 3 years since Fallen Kingdom. 4 years when you add COVID time. It's been some time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you remind us of what happened in Jurassic World Dominion, can you give us a quick summary of what happens in the first 2 pictures as well?
Okay. All right. So Jurassic World. They're like, yo, you remember Jurassic Park? What if we do that again, but bigger, and we invent new dinosaurs that barely get utilized? And they do that for 2 hours. And that's the movie. And then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they're like, okay. So we escaped from that park. Everyone left that park because, the dinosaurs ran wild and they took over the island. But oh no, there's a volcano. Oh no, the dinosaurs will all die again if we don't come in and save them. So you know what they do, Miss Simpson?
What do they do?
They put them on cargo ships and bring them to a fancy man's basement.
Wow, that was an interesting sequence. More interesting than what may or may not happen in this film. I do not know. We haven't discussed what happened in this film
And then
yet. Go
there
on.
was a black market for dinosaurs with preposterously low prices considering they're actual dinosaurs.
Yes, yes.
And then the little girl, the rich man has a little girl with him that turns out he cloned his daughter, and that's his granddaughter. And then she frees all the dinosaurs with the classic line, everyone knows it, with a great delivery.
The classic line.
They're alive, just like me. Beautiful, beautiful delivery. Classic line. Classic line. And that's where we left off with Fallen Kingdom. All the dinosaurs were let loose upon the world. Who knows what pandemonium's about to happen with dinosaurs having to interact with humans everywhere. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's go to Jurassic World Dominion. We get one boat with a dinosaur eating the boat. And then we get an expository now this segment where they're just like, yeah, dinosaurs are everywhere and they're really causing havoc over there. And then once we actually get into the action of things, they're all caged up again. And now we got to go to another secret base that holds all the dinosaurs. And we got to deal with another evil man that's like, I control all the evil thing and I'm doing it for my own ends. But can you really control them, evil man? Oh, yeah, and they throw in the 3 people from the original movie somewhere.
Crazy thing is, this film was what, 2 hours, 26 minutes?
Yeah, it was 20 minutes longer than either of the other 2 movies.
And your plot description was just about as detailed and thorough as the films. This was a series of pictures in a moving fashion of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have to say.
So, you know, Miss Simpson, I've told you about this rule, but listener, you may not know this. I have a saying where there is, of a trilogy, the second one is either the best or the worst.
Okay.
I gotta
For
say,
instance, let's toss a couple of examples. For instance,
Shrek 2,
Godfather,
best of the trilogy.
Shrek 2 of the 4 Shrek films.
The 4th one doesn't count.
Oh, because he undoes it at the end, I see.
Yeah.
What about like a Batman Arkham?
What?
Arkham games.
I said Did I not say movies?
I thought we said trilogies. Did you say movies or trilogies?
You know, I'm gonna stick with movies on this one. Trilogies of movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for instance, let's say, I don't know. What's a movie trilogy? Maybe like The Lord of the Rings.
The Two Towers is the worst one. Not that it's bad, but it's the worst of the trilogy.
I'm fighting words. What about, say, I don't know, the Three Colors trilogy?
I mean, I didn't see all 3 of those movies yet, so how dare you?
So we don't know if it's a rule that applies to all, but it's generally accepted, is what you're saying?
Sure.
Generally accepted.
And I will say, in this case, if you couldn't tell from my descriptions, I did like the second one more because it was actually different than the other 2 movies. I will say, when I was watching this movie, I was so excited when we finished the second movie and they had the dinosaurs being unleashed, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Now they're going to have to do something different for the third movie. They're going to have to do something different.
They did something completely different. Do you know what they did? They put the dinosaurs in the background of the film.
You know, the fascinating thing is, I think this is the least violent of the 3 movies in this trilogy.
Yes, but that's because the dinosaurs are so not part of the movie. And then you get that really weird fight at the end between the 3 dinosaurs. It's like, oh,
They're
the
like, oh, I
genetically
forgot this was
ultra
supposed to be
one.
a Jurassic movie.
Then it's this weird thing like the genetically ultra dinosaur is killed by the 2 not genetically ultra ones, and it's like, oh, we're trying to make a statement, I guess. You catch that?
I didn't, but what I did
Maybe
catch,
I
what I
added
did
that
catch
there.
is the movie stumbled over itself to go back to its status quo.
It's a pretty mind-boggling. I think earlier you said there's only me one time we say awesome in this podcast. This is a very awesome film, but not in a good way. I am
it
just
does
shocked
it
at
does imbue
messy it is.
awe in how they, okay. So, you know how Colin Trevorrow was initially supposed to do Rise of Skywalker?
Sure, sure.
I have a feeling this is just a thing he does. He takes what
Yes,
might be interesting ideas and then just like, no, let's just erase all that and put it back in the box.
and what? Because I could have sworn he wasn't the original director for this film.
He
Am I
wasn't?
misremembering? I could have sworn there's another person attached, and then they got cold feet and got him. I can look that up right now. I might be misremembering. 'Cause it could
Did he
just
write
be
this one? Here we are with
screenplay.
all the facts.
Co-wrote it with Emily Carmichael.
But he did
Emily
help with the
Carmichael.
writing.
Yes, Emily Carmichael co-wrote Pacific Rim Uprising and then this film. Do you have thoughts on Pacific Rim Uprising? That seems like a film you might have thoughts on.
I didn't see it.
Oh well, then you do not have thoughts on it. Let's see, Charles.
I like John Boyega. That's my thoughts on Pacific Rim Uprising.
According to Wikipedia, a month after announcing they wrote who would write the movie, Trevorrow was confirmed as director. He was inspired by Bayona's work, J. Bayona, who directed the previous one, on the film, saying, "It made me want to finish what we started." Spielberg had asked Trevorrow to return as a director, so I guess Spielberg wanted him back. But I don't think I don't think the direction is the worst part of this film.
No, but like, it's boring.
Yes. It's the weird thing is I think they tried really hard a lot of the time to make it different. If that makes sense.
You think so?
The or is it Malta? Is that where they are? That entire sequence felt really different from the rest of the Jurassic stuff to me. You have this reliance on these weird wasps or whatever.
Locusts.
Locusts. There's attempts to try and change it up a bit.
Yeah, it is
Then-
fascinating that in this movie where they were like, yo, we unleashed dinosaurs on the planet. What's gonna happen? Oh, don't worry about those. We got locusts now. No one cares about locusts.
That first scene with the locusts.
No one
right?
cares about locusts.
You know how that first scene with the locusts, there's like kids on a farm.
Yeah.
And they started talking. Did those kids die?
No. They were safe in the barn.
I don't know. One of them just barged through that barn.
Yeah, and they were able to contain that one, and that's the one that the Laura Dern
Sure.
does the thing with.
I found it really awkward that there were two different, like, applause moments for Laura Dern's character, if that makes sense. 'Cause when she first comes out of the car, when she's introduced to the locusts, and there's when Sam Neill first sees her, and I was like, oh, we're supposed to applaud her twice. Love Laura Dern, but come on.
And I will say it felt like those 3 really phoned it in.
Oh, sure. They were in a movie. The characters also like, what did they do in this movie?
So what they did, their entire plot line was like, we're done with dinosaurs. We're only focused on the locusts.
Yeah.
And then Goldblum was like, yo, they got locusts that are eating all the competition's foods.
They were so inconsequential to like the plot and any ideology of this. What is the themes and the ideologies of this film? Because at the end,
So
there's
the
that
thing
music
is,
for.
like it really feels like they were trying to go back to that box of the the evil man in charge that's
Yes.
you know got all these science people around him, and it's like, you shouldn't be doing this, but I will because money and I want power.
Yes.
So it's like finding a way to go back to that, which like that was one of my big disappointments with this movie. It's like, okay, you set up to do something different and then you trip over yourself to make the same movie again, including like every aspect of it, including the themes and elements. I mean, I guess if you want to like pigeonhole a franchise, this is one way to do it.
You know what pissed me off about this movie?
What?
When the end was like, oh, we have to learn how to coexist. I didn't get that from anywhere in this movie.
You know what the
Where
funny
did that
thing
come
is?
from?
You know what the funny thing is?
Yes.
I've seen a couple of tweets from Colin
Okay.
Trevorrow about this film
Okay.
because,
Yes.
the Twitter, boosts it to like support the new movie. So the
Okay.
two tweets I saw, one, when the extended cut came out, he tweeted out, "Friends don't let friends watch the theatrical cut." To which
Okay.
someone replied, "Then why did you release that into theaters then, Colin Trevorrow?"
Yep.
And two, this might not have been a tweet, but this might have been something he said in an interview where he was like, with this movie, we really had to tackle, like, how can humans and dinosaurs coexist? Spoiler alert, they don't. But, like,
Isn't
we watched the
final
movie.
line- isn't the final line like, oh yeah, we have to learn to coexist together?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Pawan.
And, like,
Good movie. Not the worst movie we've seen for this podcast.
the
I don't know
thing
if you
that
agree with
fascinated me the most was within 20 minutes of the movie, they already had the dinosaurs back in cages and doing humans bidding.
me. Human what?
Doing the bidding of humans.
Oh, okay.
It's like they just can't get their own autonomy, I guess.
Makes no sense. I will say I don't think this is the worst movie we've seen on this podcast.
No, but it did make me sad for the state of affairs more so than I was. Because
What do you mean?
Okay, so we're in a theatrical landscape where only legacy franchises really get big play, right?
Okay.
This movie represents that, like, okay, if we have to use a legacy franchise, we can't do something fun with it. We have to stick to the parameters of what was set in the previous movies, and also find some way to hit nostalgia points.
Yes. Doesn't Top Gun Maverick do that? And we all like Top Gun Maverick. Didn't Spider-Man do that? And I know you're not the biggest fan of the new Spider-Man, but most people liked it.
I guess there's a way to go about it that's more character focused, and then there's this haphazard method that they did here, where it just feels like a bunch of pieces that don't really mesh.
It does. But also the weird thing with these movies, right?
To the point where it does end up just feeling like a nothing, as opposed to something like Top Gun Maverick that did feel like a holistic experience.
I agree. Because I think about the big thing with this film, and it's built up, right? Was that, oh my god, we got the OG 3R back, all right? Goldblum's going to be in more than 30 seconds of this film. Don't worry. And he was in, well, you know what? About 4 minutes of this movie. It's all right. Like, we got the OG 3 back, and everyone's like, oh, that's fun. Let's hope it's good.
Also,
movie.
Just can I say one thing? That like hero shot where it's the three of them in front of the car, where it's like, yeah, we got the three people back. Here's the poster and like all that. It just the lighting was terrible.
I'll be honest, no clue what shot that is. No idea what shot that is. Is that after they reunite with Chris Pratt and
Yeah.
who happens? Oh, Bond, did you know Chris Pratt was in this movie?
Oh yeah.
I don't think the movie knew that. I found it interesting. We got the OG3 back, and I think the biggest plot point for them, like in character development ish area, was them trying to Sam Neill and Laura Dern reconnecting, right, romantically.
Sure.
They really tried to drill that in this one. And I think back on that original Jurassic Park, classic as it is, I think the best. I would say the best of the ones I've seen. I haven't seen Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, but I feel like I don't need to. Um, this is me just double checking that Sam Neill is the man's name. It is his name. Um, and they keep hammering it in, but I never thought of them as like one of the great love stories in cinema. You know, no one talks
I
about
was
them in
about to
Jurassic Park.
ask, did they have a thing in the first movie? Because it felt like they were just retreading that again as well.
Oh, they straight up were like a couple. Remember the whole thing for Sam Neill in that movie is like, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. At the end, he learned to take care of her. I think
Oh, so
of
like
those
that's
kids.
why they did the same thing in the first Jurassic World movie.
Exactly. And so you get them again. I was reading. So I guess Sam Neill returns in Jurassic Park 3, where Laura Dern has a cameo, and it turns out she's married to some other person, which they mention in this film she's divorced, which is alright. That's life. That's life. Um, And there's a weird like Sam Neill's jealous of Jeff Goldblum
Yeah, there
sequence
was like one
going
scene where I was
on,
like, why is this here?
and
You know what did return?
but
That like I saw it and I was like, why? It irked me a little bit, but like it's one of those things where like I didn't need to notice it, but I did.
okay,
The fucking barbasol can.
was it in this movie?
Yes.
Where was it?
Okay, I forget who it was, but there was like someone going through like a vent or something, and then it was the main guy, it was the villain, and he was trying to escape, and like one of the dinosaurs came to, he had the barbasol can in his hand.
He did not.
He did.
God damn. God.
What even is the barbasol can?
Wasn't it Wayne Knight hid like DNA or something in it?
But like, why does that matter?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously it doesn't matter because the movie didn't make a point of it. It's just something I saw on like the side of the screen. Wait, is that the fucking barbasol can?
Is it? I gotta look this up now. It cannot. That makes no sense. The future fate of the can is the main story arc of the Jurassic Park the game. What? What does that even mean? Is that the Telltale game?
Maybe?
Yeah, it was in this film.
It was a blink and you miss it, but like it's the sort of thing that's made for all those Easter egg hunters that build their entire online persona around it.
Yes. I guess.
That remind yeah. Tangent. I remember seeing
Go,
someone
go.
talking about Andor, and their big complaint was like, where's all the Easter eggs, guys? You know, give me something to talk about so that I could promote your show. And it's like, really? That's all you could talk about?
That's not how art works. There's a team that promotes. You're not. It's not how that works.
But like also, the only thing you get out of art is, oh, that's the thing I recognize.
We live in a world. We live in a
Barbasol cans.
What do we want to bring up? Because I don't think the OG cast is bad. They're just there. I found occasionally there would be a fun Jeff Goldblumism.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like when he's trying to. They're like, put in the code, which is like, how is he supposed to know there's a code? He's like, I didn't know there was a code. Like he's like 1984, and he's like Miles Davis's birthday. I'm like, that's silly. That's fun, Jeff. I don't know if they're there to be characters. I think they're there to be themselves. Those three.
Mm.
No. This film forgets Chris Pratt is in these movies.
Oh yeah. The other thing, the other thing, I like
Yes.
how when they introduced the OG dude, not Jeff Goldblum, but the other guy.
I'm Neil. I'm Neil.
It's again with him chastising another kid,
Yeah.
putting
what
another kid in his place.
I will say something I noticed, which I think is a product of the Owen taking a back seat in this film, is I felt like this was a little bit more of Claire's movie. If you want you're on the binary of whether it's Owen or Claire's movie.
Because it's the mother instinct that kicks in to protect her baby.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with this film where like all the women have to be mothers and can't really be anything else. But that's kind of the franchise in general, and I don't know if we're the two people to talk about that. But I did enjoy Bryce Dallas Howard in this film. I found whenever she dealt with dinosaurs, I was more interested than when Chris Pratt does.
They
'Cause Chris
dealt with
Pratt has
dinosaurs
this.
in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chris
Well,
Pratt had the whole ice scene.
Chris Pratt is always like very stoic when he's dealing with the dinosaurs, right? And I'm like, I don't care. But when you get, say, Bryce Dallas Howard when she's in Malta and she's being chased by the dinosaur across rooftops, I thought that was a fun
You know,
sequence.
even then, like the one thing that annoyed me about that scene is that yes, we're outside of the parks and there's other people, but it's still
Yes.
contained where the pandemonium's going.
Yes. What is the alternative to? I don't understand what
I
your
want
thing here
Okay,
is.
I went into this movie wanting more dinosaur mayhem, eating
Yes.
everybody.
You got that dude who was on a scooter and it got eaten by a dinosaur. Chris Pratt is on his is driving on his motorcycle and he passes by some people and the dinosaur comes and just bites some dude who's on a scooter. It's very funny.
I guess yeah, that's
Um,
one. That's one.
you got a lot of that mayhem in the original Jurassic World, I think.
Yeah, I guess, but like it still felt
contained in the park.
contained. Yeah.
You still have a whole bunch of dinosaurs all over the place, attacking random people, picking them up, tossing them around.
But see, what I really okay, I get that we should judge the movie that we have instead of the movie that I wanted.
Yes.
But the movie I wanted,
Yes.
the movie I wanted was a disaster movie with dinosaurs. You know how in like disaster movies they like check in on all the major landmarks and like show how the disaster is affecting it?
On a Godzilla with dinosaurs.
Not exactly, because Godzilla is still like a single monster. I'm talking like, you know, damn, why can't I think of any off the top of my head? Like, there's like alien invasion movies where like they go around like Great Wall of China or like the White House,
Sure.
hit all the big landmarks, and then show how things are being affected by the big threat.
Pawan, how would we catch up with our favorite characters, Owen and Claire and Macy?
I forgot the
You-
clone's name.
Do you remember that Macy's British? She started talking
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, you're British." All right. I guess they're her parents now.
Yeah.
That is weird. No, when she's like, "Oh, there's my parents," I'm like, "There's no way this girl ever called them her parents."
But they were
No way.
together for 3 years in the woods, man.
You know what pissed me off about them together, right? Is there's that opening sequence, which hold on, that first like 20 minutes, so jarbled, so disjointed.
Yeah, because they're racing to get the dinosaurs back in cages.
Not even that. You have like a first like 90 seconds maybe with that random boat attack, which I don't know. Wasn't there a boat attack in one of the other Jurassic Worlds? Thought we saw that already.
Yeah.
Then you have like the 2-minute expository. Here's this video.
But you know what? You know what? You know why they had to have that? Because they wouldn't have gone into the $1 billion movie club without it. There weren't any other boats in this movie.
Fair point. That's a fair point. Then you get to this weird Bryce Dallas Howard's breaking in and trying to rescue dinosaurs. And then you get Justice Smith and Daniela Pineda back for like that very short moment to be like, "Hey Claire, are you sure you're doing this?" And then they're like, "Aren't you still with Owen?" And the film later on is like, they're obviously together. There's no question about it.
But they're like, oh, I don't know what the situation is. It's complicated.
It wasn't though. It wasn't at all. They decided to raise this child together with no job. They're just in the woods.
I mean, vibes.
I will say she's a very different person from that first Jurassic World.
Well, yeah, because her big conflict in that first movie was I like job, not kid. And now she's I like kid, not job. Big growth. Big growth.
So that was a mess. Why was I talking about the opening? Oh, I'd bring up something, and I don't know what, but it was so. Yeah, why were Justice Smith and Daniela Pineda there? So many characters in this movie. Think of just in the end when they were getting off the island, and there's like 9 or 10 of them there.
Okay, so the thing with this movie, it feels like there's so much setup that there's like not much payoff.
Oh,
there's so much
think...
time spent in putting pieces where you want them that they didn't actually do anything with them when they're there.
Again, I don't think I found the action to be okay. Not great, but okay. I like the Malta sequence that I mentioned. There's another one I liked. I really liked the sequence when Claire was ejected from the plane and she's kind of in the forest alone and she's trying to not get that dinosaur's attention. She's like slowly crawling across the floor. Trevorrow has this thing. He likes to keep not like full oneers, but he keeps longer shots than I think most blockbusters do. I think he helped build some of that suspense and fear. And I think Bryce Dallas Howard is a great scared actress, if that makes sense. I found she was really great conveying the fear. Also, I will shout out very briefly Isabella Sermon's Macy Lockwood. She had a great scared face as well. When they're climbing up that tower and that dinosaur comes in and mounches on them. You know what I'm talking about? That weird sequence when Jeff Goldblum almost falls and Sam Neill picks him up, and then somehow they then get ahead of line.
Yeah, I know, right?
Chris Pratt and Mamadou Ati, who plays Ramsey Cole, who's there to be a token person. Maybe I don't know why you're there.
He's there to be like, this system's flawed, man.
I apologize. I was looking around him. DeWanda Wise. I apologize. Kayla Watts. The other possible token get there.
Oh, you're talking about it. Yeah.
The pilot.
Yeah, who's like, I gotta help her because she's a mother looking for her child.
Was that her thing? Because she has that thing of like when she's first introduced and she sees Macy and she like looks and glares and like, I'm not getting into this. And she decides to help them for some reason. And I guess it's guilt. Let's give something about capitalism in here, but that's always in these movies, right?
The thing is, I feel like a big point of it when she decided to help, she asked Bryce Dallas Howard, "Are you her mother?" first. It comes back to that, as it always does.
Yeah, well, was she a mother? Was that her story?
Huh?
Was that her story? Was that Kayla Watts' story that she's a mother?
Was it? I don't know if she was, but like that's why she helped them. Because Bryce Dallas Howard was a mother.
I'm reading a bit about Kayla watched a small snippet on the Wikipedia page. It listed Jurassic Park characters.
What is it saying?
I mean, Wise is of African American descent, although the character was not originally written as such. Wise worked with the film's co-writer to refine the character. Wise came up with Kayla's traits and backstory, stating that she is bisexual and fresh out of the Air Force. Kayla was inspired by Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
I guess with the Han Solo, but
No, I see that.
what? Why the bisexual? That wasn't in the movie.
That was not there. That's an interesting to note.
Okay, now you know what? They're cowards because you know what could have happened. There could have been a throuple.
It could have been. Whoa, that would have been really interesting. Sorry, I'm reading more about people's Wikipedia pages. Campbell Scott as Dr. Lewis Dodgson, Dodgson.
Dodgson.
It's Dodgson. That's a weird name.
Dodgson.
That's a weird name. I didn't realize this is a character in the original Jurassic Park. Campbell Scott replaces Cameron Thor from Jurassic Park. I clicked on the page for Cameron Thor. I'm like, oh, did he die or something? That's sad. Cameron Thor. In 2016, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl.
Only 6 years?
That's what it says. Oh, yes. What the fuck? Sorry to bring this in the podcast.
Let's
on
hear
June
about
4th,
more prison
2014
trivia related to Jurassic Park.
Thor was charged with the 2009 sexual assault of a 13-year-old girl. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office initially filed 14 counts against Thor, including kidnapping and sexual assault against a minor. What? 13 of the charges were dropped by the time the trial began. Nice.
So there was that one scene.
Sorry, I was just like, what is... I was not ready for this when I'm looking at people's... let's shout out someone cool. Can we shout out someone cool after that bullshit? Deacon Lockman. Do you recognize Deacon Lockman? Appears as Soyona Santos. That's her smuggler.
Who was
Do
she?
you recognize her? She was the smuggler who had the pointer that someone died.
Gotcha,
And I guess got arrested at the end. Did she get arrested?
I don't know.
She plays Miss Casey in Severance. Remember Miss Casey?
Oh yeah.
In that series.
Yeah.
And then
She
appears in
did.
this film.
She did look familiar. She's
just in this film. She's all right. She's an evil person.
I feel like she's like the bad guy for that one scene.
Yeah. She's fun-ish, I guess. I don't understand why we keep going back to BD Wong. I guess there's only one scientist in this entire universe. Or BD Wong really wants that money, and you know what? Respect to him. Is he evil in this movie? I'm still confused.
BD Wong?
All right. Yeah.
No, he's trying to fix his mistake.
Was he evil in the other? He's in all three of the worlds. I didn't realize he's in all three of them.
That sounds about right.
Obviously, he's in the original. I remember him being in the first world. I don't remember him being in the second one. Omar Sy comes back. Sure. Very, very famous French actor. Currently on Lupin on Netflix, one of Netflix's most popular series.
I always get that show confused with the anime.
An anime?
Yeah, the anime Lupin the Third.
I'm unfamiliar.
It's heavily based off of James Bond movies.
Were there any scenes that stuck out to you for either a positive or negative reason?
There was that one scene where Maisie broke out of the house and helped guide the dinosaur out of the logging area, and I was like, oh, so this is the movie we're getting.
I have no memory of this scene. I watched this. I started this film at like 1 a.m. last night because, of course, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say I didn't fall asleep during it. I didn't almost fall asleep of it. I remember when I did Fallen Kingdom around the same time. I took like a 5 minute break in halfway through because like I need to rest my eyes. That didn't happen this time. A lot of car chases in this film. Is that opening one with Claire when they're stealing the dino?
Sure.
There's the one in Malta when the dinosaurs are chasing Chris Pratt on his
That's a
motorcycle.
motorcycle, not a car.
But it's still the same. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know what I'm saying, right?
But yeah,
What's the
they
difference
also
between a car and
chase
a
Bryce
motorcycle?
Dallas Howard in the back of the pickup truck.
Yes, that's what I meant earlier as in the opening.
No, in the pickup truck.
Which one's the pickup truck?
Also, while Owen's being chased on the bike.
You're right. You're right because she fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were the locusts here?
You're trying to do Pawn. You wanted something different.
It wasn't something different. It was just a different monster to make the same thing again.
Hey, how many locusts are in the previous films?
That doesn't matter. They
B,
did the same thing with him.
do the locusts attack them? Do they bite them? What's going on? Because they're just standing in front of a swarm of locusts for no real reason.
And then
And
the
nothing
locusts
happens.
touch them and they go, ouchie.
And then they're on fire, and then somehow they break out of the glass, and then they just fly away.
Well, yeah, that's another thing I didn't understand about the locusts, where they were like, oh yeah, we just need to throw the injection into one of these locusts, and then it'll be in all of them.
That makes no sense.
And then also, so what I extrapolated from that is that when he set those locusts on fire inside the thing, that set
Yes.
all the locusts on fire.
Of course. That's how it works. That makes perfect science sense. Oh, fuck this movie. You know why fuck this movie?
Why?
For the first like hour, every third word is like a scientific word. It's like they're trying to trick you into thinking it's a smart film. Like, fuck no. This makes no sense. Also, everyone talked about the funniest fucking thing in this movie.
What?
BD Wong's like, Macy, I knew your mom, alright? She's a wonderful scientist. Here's some videos. And the mom's doing this video diary. Remind me of the film Avatar. Great film. If you haven't seen Avatar, go watch it. Go back to our podcast and listen to me being wrong about not loving Avatar. Avatar is incredible. Now, I can admit when I'm wrong, Pawan.
Sure.
Watching these videos. And then very dramatically, her mom gets up and she's pregnant. Let's for a second let's look back. In the previous film, they said the grandfather made the clone,
Yes.
and in this film, they said no. Her parents not no one. Her parents Palpatine. The grandfather didn't clone her. Her mom cloned her herself. What? And by cloning her, he was pregnant with her. I found that hysterical.
You know what line really got to me?
Which line, Paul?
Let me. It was during the argument with the girl and her two parents.
Of course.
Where
Of
she's
course.
like, "I'm different," and she was like, "I was made from someone else." It's like, you know, everyone's made from someone.
You know, Paul, when you spend was it 2 years or 4 years with Owen and Claire?
I think it was 3.
You know,
Split the difference.
3 years. Homeschooling's not gonna be that great. All right. I don't know if they got sex ed yet.
Listen. Claire's a scientist.
Is she? I thought she was a business person.
Wasn't she a scientist?
Is she a businesswoman in that first one?
Well, you know what? She's getting a free MBA.
Oh. Also, there's that line when Claire says something. She's like, "Oh, that was cheesy, wasn't it?" Remember that part? With Macy early on.
Oh yeah.
And then there are like 18 different lines later in this film. I'm like, that was cheesy. Also, you can't call it out the first time and then just act like you can do it again throughout the film.
Speaking of things that you can't do,
Yes.
there I forget who says it, but someone says, "All right, easy, Rambo. Don't remind me of better movies."
Oh yeah. And Goldblum's holding the gun.
Yeah, don't remind me of better movies while I'm watching yours.
Oh. Upon the entire time they're reminding you of every other Jurassic movie. When you're like, this franchise can't get worse. It does. It does very much
Listen,
so.
if you keep digging, maybe at some point you'll end up on the other side of the planet. So they just need to make another 17 of these.
I guess.
And maybe then we'll get something new because they're all the way on the other side.
You know what made me a little sad about this movie?
What?
My boy Pawn. Our boy Pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Giacchino returned. He didn't do it for me this time. I wasn't
Nah.
feeling the music.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I feel like there was a scene where there weirdly was no music also, like somewhere in Malta. Maybe it was like during the Chris Pratt when he first starts getting on that motorcycle. It felt very empty to me.
You
And the
know,
the sound work wasn't really doing it for me either.
the other thing what there was no fun like childish moments.
How so?
Like, you have the over the top munches and like bites in Jurassic World. In Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you have Owen going ouchie upon touching lava that is flowing.
I'm
Like
not sure what you're looking for here, Pawn. I'll be honest.
I don't know, just some childlike wonder, some fancifulness.
I will say I was ready for every Jurassic Park has that moment of wonder when you first see the dinosaurs, right? And you had that weird moment of Laura Dern and Sam Neill, who I don't think we've ever mentioned their characters' names, but also the film doesn't care. They're in the helicopter and they're looking down at this like dinosaur in the water. Like, oh, that's cool. I didn't feel cool. Didn't feel cool. May I ask you something about the visuals?
Sure,
Or how did you watch this film? Did you stream it?
I did.
Streamed it? I, for one,
I streamed it on
uh,
Peacock.
we don't mention shit on this film on this
Peacock.
podcast.
Peacock.
I did not want to use Peacock for the ads.
I did not have ads.
Fuck, why didn't you give me the? We'll talk later. I discovered, I had some credits on my Redbox account. I went to a Redbox. I went up a couple blocks to the local Walgreens, rented it. Turns out didn't have enough for the Blu-ray, so I got the DVD.
Oof.
Yeah, didn't look great.
You
Did
got
not
that
look great.
480p crisp.
Not look incredible. So I have a question for you because I didn't. It was a little murky. Not the sharpest, crispest image. Didn't bother me too much as I got into it. Were the visuals? How did the effects hold up for you?
It was all right.
Alright. I didn't think they looked great.
It wasn't
I thought-
like it wasn't like awe-inspiring, but it was all right.
I
There
didn't think
wasn't
the
anything
effects
where I
looked
was
great.
like, that looks terrible.
Okay, I thought some of the dinosaurs looked very rubbery and artificial, but maybe that's just because I had a small 240p.
Usually that helps hide those things.
Well, did not for me.
Because like that is one of the things that people say, like the scariest version of Alien is the VHS copy.
That makes sense.
Because like it's so dark you never know when the alien is actually there. Whereas with like the Blu-ray you could clearly see it.
You noticed a lot of the dinosaurs in this film had feathers.
Yeah, they were trying to be accurate, I guess.
Yeah. Again, you get to that end. That very terrible ending fight. Where it's like the Gigasaurus Rex and the T-Rex. And hold on. Sorry. Fuck the scene when the Gigasaurus Rex or whatever the fuck it's called comes up to the 10 of them. I'm sorry, the 83 of them because there's so many characters, and both Sam Neill and Chris Pratt are like, "Don't make a move," and then they look at each other like, "You said my line," and they both do that dumbass hand thing that everyone in fucking film does.
Well, you gotta reach out to the dinosaur. It's like it's like that one classic art image of like the hand reaching out their finger and then God's on the other end and they're almost touching.
All that to say, I mentioned it earlier. What the fuck was that final fight where the humans were just trying to run through? I found it so more effective in that first Jurassic World, but it was them running through, and it was the Gigasaur fighting a regular T Rex, and then the feathered, clawed dinosaur comes up, and somehow they team up against the Gigasaur, and nature wins. I guess was what they were trying to say. I don't
Uh,
fucking know.
you know what we haven't talked about yet?
What?
Maisie's cousin.
Excuse me? What?
Blue had a baby. You don't remember?
How are they cousins?
Because they're both clones. That's what BD Wong was
Oh,
studying.
you think all clones are related? What, Pawan?
No. But that's what BD Wong was saying. He's like, I gotta study both of you because you're so close.
At that logic, every dinosaur is related to Maisie.
That's why it comes back to that line from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. She felt their humanity more than the other people because they're cousins.
Why did Blue not like them in this one? It starts off and Blue doesn't like them, remember?
Yeah, because Blue's like... Because, you know what? They both had isolationist mindsets. Protect me and my own. It took
Blue
Maisie
them in the previous one?
It took Maisie to break down that barrier. It took Maisie to break down that barrier. She's the connection between humans and dinosaurs. She's the bridge.
Shout outs to Denise. What was that dirt about her? You know what I'm saying? That's a great mystery of this film. You know, it's not about dinosaurs. What is it? What did she know about Denise?
You know what? I have a feeling for the next trilogy, that's gonna be the carrying thread. It's not. They're gonna keep the barbasol can, but they're gonna keep the Denise her secret as well. It's gonna keep being teased.
And the very ending, rather than the T-Rexes, it's Denise fighting Denise from HR. The one she was making up stuff about.
Wait, Miss Simpson. We're not at that segment yet.
I'm talking about the next movie. I'm not saying this movie, Pawn. Anything else you want to say about this movie? I took a bunch of notes, but I don't even want to read through them.
Did I go through all my notes? Let me check.
There's a weird moment in Malta when Bryce Dallas Howard.
You love that Malta sequence. Like, that's all you're talking about.
I actually did really enjoy that tune. There's this weird moment where she just starts talking, and Owen randomly puts his hand to his ear, like, "Oh, I guess you have an earpiece now, Owen."
That's the one scene that had you glued to the screen where you're remembering every detail.
Well, that second half just so it's so weird for the first like 3/4 of this film. It's literally two different movies. It's the OG trilogy in that lab, and then it's Claire and Owen looking for Macy, and it keeps going back and forth, and it feels so disjointed, and then they come together in the end, but it doesn't congeal right. And I found that once everyone's in that lab, it doesn't work. I found that it was so weirdly less defined of a locale than, say, the house at the end of Fallen Kingdom, or even the giant expansive land of World. World is probably a larger area, but felt more defined than this lab. And it just all meshed together in a mushy mashed potato of sorts, and I wanted to stay away from it.
Whoa. Don't besmirch mashed potatoes, all right?
I'm sorry, mashed potatoes, but this is what it reminded me of.
Don't besmirch mashed potatoes. But yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this movie?
Um, the original cast was out to lunch for most of it.
I guess.
They bent over backwards to make the same story again.
On.
Yeah, that's
Let me
about
ask
it.
you one. Let me ask you one thing.
Okay,
Who is the MVP of this film? Maybe
Maisie.
uh Macy.
She's the bridge.
Now, you're saying the character or the actor Isabella Sermon?
Oh, we're saying who's the best actor in this movie?
I don't know. I'm just saying the MVP. There's no clear define. It could be an actor. It could be the cinematographer. Who knows? It could be a scene. Be a dinosaur, an effect of sorts.
Was there an MVP? Do you have an answer?
No, I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you. Are you saying no? No MVP?
No MVP.
That's it. That means no one from this film will be added to the $1 billion Movie Club Hall of Fame. It was a possibility. We would have had to take a vote after that, but no one.
You
No
know,
one will be added.
usually MVPs are awarded for winning teams.
All right. So that was the first half of our show, and we're gonna
Alright.
take a little break right now, and we'll come back, and we're gonna hit some fun. We're gonna hit stuff. Oh
We're
my
gonna
God! Why did I
hit
say
some
that
fun.
word?
We're gonna hit that nay into the fun.
Wow.
Hit that nay. Like and subscribe.
Now a word from our sponsor. Thank you, Purina One. Now, back to the show. And we are back! Welcome back! We missed you! Let's talk more about this shitty movie. Ready? Now, Pawan,
Mhm.
we've done this a couple times on the podcast about really the most important uh, pop cultural icons,
Sure.
the landscape, if you will, right?
Sure.
Captures the cultural zeitgeist.
Okay.
Don't believe we've done it yet for this franchise. One, what is the correct watching order of the Jurassic franchise? Right? The number of pictures, some
Okay.
a TV series, maybe even a book. It all starts off with the book. Where's the book going to play? Right. So I think the first thing we must do is agree upon what are
The canonical entries.
yes, and I'm gonna share this Google Doc with you so you can see
Google.
it.
Doc. Gotcha.
It's Google Doc. I don't know if it's gonna let me share it with you. I'm clicking share screen. It's not sharing the screen.
Huh.
Issue.
Hmm.
Anyways, let's just we'll talk it out, and I'm sure you'll be able to pick up. So, what are the canonical installments of Jurassic Park?
Okay, so we got Jurassic Park.
Yeah, great place to park. Okay.
We got Jurassic Park 3.
Uh,
Huh?
we were obviously skipping one important entry.
No, that one's not
Original book,
canon.
yes. The
Huh?
original book. The original book.
Oh,
Book of
yeah.
Jurassic
Sure.
Park.
And then we got Jurassic World,
That's Jurassic World.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom. I'm gonna put FK.
We got the Netflix
Dominion.
show.
Do we know what the Netflix show is called?
No.
The animated series Camp Cretaceous.
Cretaceous.
Cretaceous. There we go. Say it once more.
Cretaceous.
Man, now the Cretaceous are gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So and then we got the video games, the 2 video
Hold on.
games.
There are 2 short films.
Oh.
All that Big Rock and
Oh.
Jurassic World Dominion Prologue.
Yeah.
Is the theatrical presentation Jurassic World Live?
That counts. Yes.
Yes.
I think I saw that one.
In 2019?
Okay, not that. No, there was like one dinosaurs live thing that I have seen.
Which,
It was at the Prudential Center.
which video games are you talking about? The Telltale one?
Evolution.
Oh, that's the park management one,
Yeah,
right?
there's two of those.
Make up that there's a Telltale Jurassic Park.
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, there is one. There is one.
Okay.
Jurassic Park the game.
You know
The
what? That one's
Telltale.
not canon.
Oh wow. Well, you know it's very confusing. Not Telltale, but Traveler's Tales did the Lego Jurassic World.
That one's canon.
Once again.
And I ain't talking DSLRs.
Oh, that's quite the joke. And obviously Jurassic Park original motion picture soundtrack.
No. What songs are on it?
Let's see what John Williams put on this album, including such hits as "Hatching Baby Raptor," "A Tree for My Bed," "High Wire Stunts," "Eye to Eye."
So Eye
And
to Eye,
end credits.
Eye to Eye, and Hatching Baby are canon. The other ones aren't.
Hatching Baby Raptor.
Yeah, that one.
Really sure. Okay. This is a lot of entries. I didn't realize how wide this franchise went. Okay.
Yeah, but like
These are
you got a wide range of lengths to them.
To recap, canonical entries of the Jurassic franchise: Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park the Book, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World Dominion, which for some reason does not have
I didn't say Dominion.
Oh, I
That's
thought
not
we
canon.
did. Oh, okay. Now, what about Jurassic World Dominion Prologue?
That one's canon.
Canon, as well as Battle at Big Rock, the two shorts. Jurassic World Cretaceous. Cretaceous?
Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
Cretaceous, the series. Jurassic World Live. Jurassic World Evolution. Lego Jurassic World. Hatching Baby Raptor from the and Eye to Eye.
And you know what? I don't even remember what it was
Jurassic
called, but let's throw in that dinosaur live show that I saw. That's canon.
I believe that's the first thing, right? That's the first one.
Yeah, put that in as a dinosaur live show that Pawan saw when they were like 12.
One's 12-year-old.
No, saw when they were like 12. You got to get the wording right.
Dino Live Pawan likes 12-year-old. Is that correct? Wait,
close
Dino
enough.
Live on 12-year-old. Okay.
All right. Then we got then
you start reading the book.
Baby Raptor Hatch.
Hatching Baby Raptor. You listen to that. You listen to that when you read the first 3 chapters of the book, yes?
Yes.
You're listening to Hatching Baby Raptor track as reading chapters 1 through 3. I don't know how many chapters are on this book. We'll figure it out.
And then for the last 3 chapters of the book, you're gonna watch Jurassic World 3. At the same time.
AP3. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Then I believe this is when you start playing Jurassic World, Lego Jurassic World.
Sure. Yes.
All of it.
And then you watch the first Jurassic World while managing your own park in the first Jurassic World Evolution. And the canonical way to play it while you're watching the movie is that when the movie's things start breaking down, you got to start doing a shit job in the game.
Sure.
That's the canonical way to do it.
Now I just gotta figure out which ones we've checked off already. We checked these off. Checked this one off. Yes, Yes, we did those. Oh, we didn't do that one.
And then you watch Camp Cretaceous.
First season.
First season. And then you do the Jurassic World Dominion prologue.
Yes.
And then while you're watching the second season of Camp Cretaceous, you play through Jurassic World Evolution 2. And this time you do a good job.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you watch I'm figuring out which ones we haven't. You watch Fallen Kingdom.
Okay. And then you end it with No, there's you end it by watching the original Jurassic Park while watching that the other short we didn't talk about, and you keep that other short repeating until you finish Jurassic Park.
So JP plus Battle at Big Rock.
And then you keep the Battle at Big Rock playing on a loop until you finish Jurassic Park.
Then, what you do after that? Hold on, let me make sure we did this one.
All right, what are we? What did I miss? What did I miss?
It's the finale. We all know the finale. So what you do then is you get in a car, point park, get in car,
and you see
you
Jurassic.
You drive while listening to Eye to Eye, track 14 off Jurassic Park original motion picture soundtrack. All right. As you get out of the car, you pull out your book. You read chapters 4 through 12 of the Jurassic Park book.
Oh, so you skipped those chapters in the previous.
You did first 3 earlier, and then you did final 3. You haven't done the middle yet.
Right.
So you read those as you walk into the theater for Jurassic World Live. However, this is the pre-show. Once the show starts, then you read chapters 18 through 39.
By the way, I left out an important detail of the Dinosaur Live show that I saw when I was like 12.
Okay.
It's important to note that you have to see that at the Prudential Center.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. But the live show you can't do at the Prudential Center.
You could do that at any other theater, just not the Prudential Center.
All right, so let me recap the watch order of Jurassic franchise. Number 1, Dino Live Pawan's 12-year-old at Prudential. Number 2, Hatching Baby Raptor track 6 as reading chapters 1 through 3 of Jurassic Park. Okay. Then read final 3 chapters of Jurassic Park while watching Jurassic Park 3, obviously. Then you play all of Lego Jurassic World. Then you watch Jurassic World while playing Jurassic World Evolution, and as the shit goes down and hits the fan in the film, shit hits the fan in your fictional virtual world.
Yes.
Then season 1 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Watch it now on Netflix.
You know what? Say that 5 times, please.
That 5 times 3. Then you watch the Jurassic World Dominion prologue. Then Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous season 2. Then Jurassic World Evolution 2. You play and do well. You do well now.
While watching season 2.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize while watching season 2.
Come on, get it right.
Then you watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That one you do by itself. Yeah, enjoy. It's the best thing.
So you gotta enjoy it by itself.
Then at the same time, simultaneously, you watch Jurassic Park while Battle at I don't know what BR is. Battle at Battle Rock.
Big Rock.
Big Rock. Battle at Big Rock. On repeat while you're watching Jurassic Park. Finally, you get in your car. You play. What is this song?
This is why we don't do acronyms.
We all know. No. I just straight up did not type it. I deleted it from the list and then didn't type it. We all know the song. You listen to that song.
You know that one off of the soundtrack. But like, if you choose the wrong one, you got to start at the beginning.
Yes. Then when you're out of the car, you read chapters 4 through 12 while you get into your seats, and then while watching Jurassic World Live, you read chapters 18 through 39 of Jurassic Park.
Also, if there aren't 39 plus chapters in the book, go on fanfiction.net and grab whichever fanfic about Jurassic Park you see.
Wait, Pawan, there's totally 39 chapters in that book. What do you mean?
Yeah. The ones that aren't in the book can be found on fanfiction.net with the first Jurassic Park related fanfic you see.
Yeah, Pawn. You know when you get to chapter 5, because we both read this book.
Right.
We both read this book. When you get to chapter 15, there's just a link, and then you press it with your finger, and then it pops up a virtual thing bringing you to fanfiction.org.
Net.
Or the first fanfiction.org for the first 20 chapters. For the rest, you go. It then brings you to archive of our own. And that is the watch order for the Jurassic Park franchise. But hold on, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about now.
We were
is
talking about that
Jurassic
for
World
30
Dominion.
minutes, but that's not what we're talking
We're talking about Jurassic World Dominion. And, it's a picture. Motion picture. But, there's something I say about motion pictures. They're not perfect.
What? You're telling me this movie
On-
wasn't perfect?
Name me a
This
motion picture.
non-canonical Jurassic related work is not perfect.
Not perfect.
Okay.
The point. I'm gonna throw some fixes at you.
Okay.
We're gonna
Throw
fix
them at me.
this
Throw
motion
them at me.
picture.
Don't go too hard though. I don't want pain. I don't like pain.
First off, the evil man, the scientist man. You know how he burns the locusts?
Mhm.
Locusts. When you expose them to something, you then take it on somehow.
Mhm.
It becomes them. So now the locusts, fire locusts. For this to film, they're fire locusts, and they shoot fire out of their mouths like a firebenders would say.
Mhm.
Fire locusts. Second, get that scene when Macy does the hand thing. Macy does the hand thing in front of a dinosaur. She's a clone. We don't know how clones
It was
work.
Beta.
She does it in front of Beta. She does the hand thing, and oh no, Beta's being choked. What happens to Beta? Macy has the Force. Macy now has the Force, so whenever she does the hand thing, she has the Force. So no one else will do the hand thing because their hand thing cannot compare to her hand thing. Finally, the big battle. Right?
At Big Rock.
That's a short film. That's not canonical. The big battle.
Wait, no.
between the T-Rex
That one is canonical. All right? Don't get it twisted.
But this one's not canonical. Why would it take in a canonical place? Final battle between the T-Rex, the feathered dinosaur, and the Megasaur, if you will. I don't remember what they call it. Megasaur is then impaled on the feathered clawed
Megasaur.
dinosaur.
Are we involving the Power Rangers Dino Morph?
No. Obviously, Pawn. What
Megazord.
is
Oh, that's Megazord. My bad.
the T-Rex pushes the Mega Chrono Rex into the spiked clawed hands, right? It's dead. And then these two dinosaurs, they celebrate. They've won. They defeated science. And the T-Rex rips off his head. It's Denise. Denise is controlling the T-Rex.
Was that
Denise was the real
secret?
boss.
Was
the
that
secret.
Denise's
Hold on.
big secret?
That was the secret.
So how is this gonna keep coming back in the future movies?
That's for Trevorrow to figure out in the future films. Those are my fixes, Pawn. Your turn for fixes.
Okay, I gotta say, I did take a couple punches with that one. I might be bruised. We'll see tomorrow. But
Are you torn? Are you Natalie Imbruglia?
let's say yes.
Wow.
All right.
Go on.
My fixes. So here we go. We're like, okay, this movie. They're like, we had dinosaurs before, but you know what? This movie we have locusts, but guess what? No one liked the locusts. So you know what we're gonna do with Act 3? All the locusts become dinosaurs.
Evolution?
De-evolution, actually.
Wow. How?
And also, Beta, he moves up. And he becomes human. Beta is human now. And Maisie becomes a dinosaur.
Okay.
You got okay. You go with me so far?
I'm trying to figure out where we're going. Let's continue, and then we'll see if we need to walk back.
So like there's a big thing happening where it's like everything's
When
de-evolving.
does this change happen?
This is something that's a third act. Like once they rescued Beta and brought Beta back to Blue.
And Beta is on Chris Pratt's shoulder?
No. Like at the end of the movie when they brought Beta back to Blue.
Oh, sure.
So like they both start changing at the same time. And then they swap children.
So are they literally switching species, or is it just like a metaphorical?
No, they're switching species. There's
Okay.
no metaphors in the Jurassics. There's no time for metaphors.
I think we fixed the movie. Is it time for us to move on?
It is, yes.
All right. Well, Pawan, as we do, we gave our opinion.
Sure.
What type of opinion was that?
Not facts.
Not facts.
Not hard data. Not
talking about
science.
dinosaurs. It's time for the science. All right. We have glasses. We're STEM people.
Yeah,
Be STEM people if
We
we want
got
to be STEM
glasses.
people.
Those listening, here you go. There's my glasses rummaging on my head. There you go.
That wasn't an odd sound. Juan, time to rank this film
Mm-hmm.
in the Bill and Melinda Movie Club list. Now, I would like you to choose. I've chosen one film in my head, and I would like you to choose one film we've covered in this entire podcast.
Okay, a film in my head. Okay.
One film we've covered on this podcast. Any film.
Okay,
Any film.
I have a film in my head.
On the count of 3, we're gonna say this film at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, give me a film. You were not gonna say that film.
Okay, Dark Knight Rises. That was
Dark
the
Knight
one
Rises.
That's the one I had in my head.
Thank you for not lying to me. Oh, those are low. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 is currently number 25. Dark Knight Rises
not that
is
low.
31. Dark Knight Rises is 31.
Yeah, but 25, that's not low. We have 50 movies. We have 50 movies now. We're half a decade.
Pawn, I'm gonna put min 25, max 31. Pawn, I would recommend you finding this in the Google Docs because I cannot share the screen with you right now. I do not know why it's not letting me share the screen with you. Oh, here, I figured it out. No, I figured it out.
Technology.
You see my screen?
I am seeing it now.
So, min 25, max 31.
Okay.
Yes, as we do. We're generating it at number
28.
Number 28. So hold on, give me 1 second. Vamp while I fix the list.
So I think at this point, this time everything gets pushed down.
Vamp as I fix the list. Don't reveal secrets.
Okay. So the moneymaker is doing the money, and the science is happening behind closed curtains. So the science, the numbers. You don't get to see the numbers. That's for our eyes only. The calculations, the machinations, the stratifications, bars. Simpson's deliberating right now because you see science, it's not 1-to-1. You can't just jump the steps all the time. You gotta take time to think about it sometimes. Deliberate about what the next move is, and let's see what Miss Simpson has in store for us.
All right, let me share the screen with you once more,
All right.
and then we shall
Smack me with that screen.
All right, let's start off at number 47, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
At number 46, Alice in Wonderland.
At number 45, Toy Story 3.
Number 44. Yeah, thank you for this, Miss Simpson. Avatar. 44.
At number 43, Spider-Man Far From Home.
At number 42, Rojue 1, A Star Wars Story.
What number did you say?
42, Rojue 1.
All right. Number 41, Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Number 40, Hair Pot, Sorcerer Pot.
Number 39, Despicable Me 3.
Number 38, Transformers Dinosaurs That Are Cars.
Number 37, Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest.
Number 36, Captain Marvel.
35, Spider-Man No Way Home.
And number 34, Captain America, I'm Mad at My Friends.
Wait, number 33, Top Gun Maverick?
It's science. It's hard
Science.
calculations.
Science. I'm sorry. Science. I'm sorry, Tom.
32, Star Wars Episode I, The Phantom Men Ace.
31, Dark Knight Rises.
30, The Dark Knight.
29, Marvels of the Avengers.
28, Jurassic World Demon.
Oh, it's the worst of the Jurassic Worlds.
Yeah.
27, Minions.
Number 26, Marvel's The Avengers Age of Ultron.
25, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey.
Number 24, Harry Potter and the Death Halos Part 2.
23, Jurassic Park.
22, Iron Man 3.
21, Frozen.
20, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
19, Jurassic World.
Number 18, Dory, Christmas, Us, Man 3, Asians.
What did you just say?
Dory, Christmas, Us, Man 3, Asians.
Number 17, Beauty and the Beast 2017.
Number 16, we got Titanic and everyone's favorite podcast starring green-hatted Miss Simpson in this very episode that you can't see, but it's here. The $1 Billion Movie Club.
Thank you for mentioning my green hat. I was worried no one would see it, in the same way that no one is going to see your voluptuous feathered cap you're currently wearing.
You know, the feathers, they got to be big for the feathers in this movie.
Number 15, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
Number 14's Toy Story 4.
13, Frozen 2. Wait, what?
Number 12. You know what your laugh just reminded me of, man?
What?
Joker from the movie Joker coming in at number 12.
Number 11, Incredibles 2.
Number 10, Star Wars Episode VII, The Force Awakens.
Number 9, Aladdin 2019.
Number 8, Zootopia.
Number 7, Avengers Endgame.
Number 6, Black Panther.
Number 5, Avengers Infinity War.
Number 4.
Oh, God.
The Lion King 2019 in parentheses.
At number 3, for 8, The Fate of the Furious. Oh, my God.
At number 2, Star Wars 8. Star Wars 8.
Number 1, Aquaman. Wow.
Number 0, this movie's nothing. Not good or bad, it's nothing. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
That's what happens when you're neither the best nor the worst in the trilogy. Number -1, Furious 7.
At number -2, Skyfall. So, Furious 7, worst movie. Skyfall, second worst movie.
What a list. That is a list of movies.
It sure is.
That's what happens when you use science. That's all I'm going to say. That was this week's episode of the $1 Billion Movie Club. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting us into your ear holes and inserting our voices and thoughts into your mind. And hopefully you'll join the cult. Hopefully you'll join the cult. Shout outs as always to Max Lismagio for the art that you see.
Beautiful.
Our friend.
Beautiful art.
Pawan, you know, maybe someone else has an idea for art or something they want to say to us. How might they send us an idea of sorts?
So, today's mailbag is empty. But if you want it to not be empty, you could send us an email at billiondollarmovieclub@gmail.com.
Wow. Say that 2 more times.
billiondollarmovieclub@gmail.com. billion-dollar-movie-club@gmail.com.
Any other shout outs you want to give? I'm looking at my Parasite posters. So shout outs to Bong Joon-ho and Song Kang-ho.
Shout outs to Laura Dern. You got that paycheck.
And with Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum.
Shout outs to them too.
Like, shout outs to Laura Dern. Good scared face. Laura Dern, very good being scared in this film.
Shout outs to the Locusts. You know, no one wanted you, but you're here.
Shout outs to. That's it. That's all I got. So we'll see if we come back.
We might come back sooner or later or some.
But until then, there's no quote in this movie. I have nothing to say. Nothing to end it with.
But until then, enjoy whatever the king beckons, the queen decides, and then the rook takes the knight, and they run off into the sunset while the pawn watches.
Oh no. Pawnee, we're leaving you alone, Pawnee. Pawnee, how does it feel to be so alone?